Hello and welcome to Grossly Competent, the learning, development, and adulting podcast that does not claim to be pretty, because we're not, but we will happily pretend to be slightly competent. I am your host, Steve Council, and I'm joined by brown bag enthusiast, Mr. Patrick Ayleshire.
Thank you for that very kind and thoughtful introduction.
I legitimately spend time trying to figure out ways to introduce you. I will have you know there's real brain power that goes into it.
And for the record, I did wear a brown bag during our first episode. So
yes, you did. There's pictures to prove it.
That is a good call out. We had a great conversation last week on, learning and development. And we had some great discussion on banter and of adulting.
Yeah.
And I was really thinking about that this week about, one, what are we going to talk about? And two, on adulting itself. I really don't know a lot about that topic of adulting.
All right.
I think at times we're all kind of making things up as we go along in regards to navigating this thing we call life. So my question for you this week, Mr. Stephen Cornelius, what's a small, silly thing you do that makes you feel that you have your life together?
Wow. Well, for starters, it's been too long since you've referred to me as a Mr. Stephen Cornelius. So
that is your middle name, isn't it?
1,000%.
Okay. Yes,
not a lot of people know that. But it is, in fact, Stephen Cornelius Ugly. It's a good question. Honestly, does endlessly cleaning up after my kids count? Does that?
For sure.
No, I'm kidding. That's what makes me feel like an adult and also a little dead inside. No, all you parents out there, I think you can understand. What do I do to make myself feel like I've got everything in order? I think the genuine answer, we talked about being genuine and authentic last week, is I don't. And I really sincerely believe everybody else, just like you said, is just kind of making it up as they go along. My wife and I will have conversations with the parents of like kids that are in my kids' classes. And we'll be like, so your kid does this too, right? Like, that's normal. Like, you almost have to have that
validation.
Thank you. That validation. Geez, yeah. You have to have that validation of, oh, thank goodness yours also does that. Fantastic. And I think that genuinely does, in a way, help us feel like we are doing the right thing as best we can and have our life together. How about you, good sir?
Well, I want to address your comment about your children and then that, you picking up after them all the time. I have the same situation over here. Now, I do not have any kids, though. And it's not that I'm picking up after myself, but my dog never puts anything away.
Oh, my God.
And so that is a constant struggle of, hey, Callie, like, I got you these toys. Here's the basket. Can you pick up after yourself? And it's just look of utter confusion.
See, that's really unfair. Like, think of all the things you do for your dog, and then she just looks at you with disdain. Like, I don't understand what you're saying, and I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn. That is very wonderful.
But to be honest, though, I would say this question is, it is a little thought provoking. Because like, what makes me feel that I'm actually a real live human in my early 40s that makes adult choices? And I go to work. No, but really, mine is. I was just talking about this over the weekend or earlier this week, I believe. It was keeping my email inbox clean, not only at work but in my personal Gmail. It helps me. One, its organization I love it. Just to keep things in order. It's less stress having to sift through some things. And for me, that's one of my big ones is just like, I feel like a little something small. Like, yeah, there's making the bed and that type of stuff. But like, if I know I can log in to my Gmail and I've only got one page of emails, like, oh, that's a good feeling. That's a great feeling. And then work, I set on my calendar every week. I have Friday afternoon is clean email inbox. It doesn't mean I have deleted everything. I save at work. You know, you learn to, as an adult, you learn to just save all your emails pretty much. But I have folders, plenty of folders, and they just go in there. And we use Outlook, so I'll flag something as more of a, so it stands out, so I can see it and leave it in my inbox if it's something relevant or important I need to address. But that's definitely that. And then I think just like decluttering too. So using
after my own heart. I love decluttering.
It's material stuff is great, but there's a time where you look sometimes at your closet or your old CDs because if someone they have not been stolen.
No,
for last week's conversation.
Wonderful that they haven't been stolen yet.
Yeah,
that's good.
But
have you thought about just like leaving them in the parking lot at Boomers and see if somebody takes them? Just asking for a friend. That's all.
I could look into it. Yeah, maybe I'll drive out there this weekend.
Yeah. Let me
come
know.
Come back in like a month. They'll still be there. Stop putting this crap out for us.
If you're not familiar with what we are talking about, we mentioned this exact thing in the previous episode where Patrick had a CD book. For those of you that are, remember those good old days of like the late 90s, early 2000s, where he had his car broken into, the stereo was taken out, but they left his CD book.
And you might think, well, it was pretty heavy. They were in a rush. And this was one of the visors. So like it was still a CD book, but it had like 20 CDs, probably 10 in the front, 10 in the back. And then you put it in your visor. But I had it sitting on the seat. I remember that. And they didn't take anything, not one. So my taste in music has evolved, I will say, from really apparently awesome to now slightly better.
I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder, right?
Yes, and they definitely let me be the holder of those CDs.
That's okay. I have a feeling if I left my CDs out like that, they would have definitely not taken them. I'm just kidding.
Well, it would have been like, if that'd have been like, speaking of last week's episode with your band T-shirt on the 9 Inch Nails, that would have been like you deciding to donate some clothes to Goodwill, and then as you're driving away, you get hit in the face with a T-shirt, and it was that one. We're not taking this, okay?
Yeah, get this out of here. This is trash. Like I paid good money at a concert for this, and all you concert goers know what I'm talking about. That T-shirts are not cheap. Okay, anyway, we're getting way off subject here. My God. All right, before we get into today's topic, and I'm curious what you have on the docket for us, Mr. Aylshire. I just wanted to quickly inject a little story, something that just happened to me yesterday. I was on a training call, like a remote training call, to be certified in order to train on first aid and choking. And a hold for applause. What was cool? So this was specifically a train the trainer course. So it's not just your run of the mill. They are actually training us on how to train others. So it's far more in depth. I mean, it was about like 9 hours long. So it was very involved.
Buck?
And no, it was not with Mr. Buck. Okay. No, it was not. But this very, very wonderful woman, she was our facilitator. And there came a point towards the end where each one of us individually was given a section of the day that we had to create our own presentation. Not like an actual visual presentation, but just like, this is what I would try to talk and walk students through if I was teaching this. And she full well knows we were given all of like 20 minutes to make our notes and our presentation set up. So nothing too wild and crazy. She just kind of wanted to know that were we paying attention and how comfortable do we feel? Well, there was a woman that was set to present, and she started off by saying, I'm really nervous to do this, and realize there's only like 5 of us on this remote training. And she'd say, like, I'm really nervous to do this. I'm not much of a presenter, and I'm afraid I'm going to say something that's wrong or I'm going to look dumb. And the facilitator, without skipping a beat, was like, oh dear, you do not need to worry. There's a very, very special thing that all trainers should know. And this is something that you can walk away with. And that is, if you do not know something, do not pretend you do. Own it. And make sure you mention to your students that you don't know this, but maybe we can find this out together. And I kid you, like my jaw like dropped. Because at first I was like, did they listen to the episode? But then I realized that the episode hadn't come out yet. So I'm like, oh, okay, just kidding. But I just thought it was so amazing that exactly what you and I were talking about last week came to fruition less than a week later. It just was a really cool moment to have that just occur in the wild. Like, yes, we weren't just making it up. It was really cool. It was really sweet.
That is incredible. No, that was that's really interesting that one, it just happened the other day.
Yeah.
And 2, we were just talking about all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Within 6 days, right? Like, so it just happened that way that she was having this conversation. Just a really wonderful story. So a shout out to the UW Green Bay continuing education team there. It was really incredible. All right. So enough about that. Patrick, the man, the ugly, the gross. What's on the agenda? What are we going to talk about this week?
Well, I want to, before we get into the topic, I want to just tell a quick little story about what happened over the weekend.
Yeah. Okay.
Mind.
Cool.
And this will lead us into our discussion. But
love it.
Yeah. So over the weekend, I was out walking my dog, and we were waiting at a stoplight. As I slowly noticed the colors green blend into yellow and then into red, it reminded me of the.
Hold on. This is not another Chat GPT thing, is it?
I assure you, it is not Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So as the lights were changing from green to yellow to red, and we stopped and then we had to wait, it reminded me of red and green lights during Christmas, which that's my favorite holiday. As a child, we would decorate the tree and Santa would bring presents. It was such a memorable occasion and time of the year. It got me thinking that a stoplight is a great time to reflect on life because it tells you to slow down.
Oh,
right, Steve? Take a moment to appreciate the beautiful world around us. And yeah, it was just a beautiful thing. It reminded me of how on LinkedIn and how much I absolutely love trying mundane things into motivational and inspirational posts. I'm sorry, I forgot I was going with that.
Oh my God. So I'm assuming none of that happened. Or did everybody clap instantly afterward?
It was great. I had the whole out downtown area just hooting and hollering.
Yeah, I bet. So I'm assuming this is your segue into, are we talking about those posts? Like those LinkedIn posts where people are like, I was walking my dog and this is what it taught me about B2B sales. Oh, man. You know what those remind me of? Oh my gosh.
What?
I have so much to say about this. And actually, this is really crazy because I was just reading an article really ties into this. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. I'm so pumped. Those kind of posts remind me of the early days of like AOL Instant Messenger. AIM. Do you remember that? Did you ever use AIM? Instant Messenger, whatever?
It so much.
Yeah.
I'd still be using it if it was around.
So when okay, so you're familiar with it. you'd always get those individuals to leave messages that were always like song lyrics or like some cryptic, edgy, like, oh, my life is an abyss. Like, oh my gosh. And then they have a target audience in mind, but they can't say it because you just have to understand them.
Hey. I'm going to stop you right there, Steven. Okay. First of all, cryptic away messages were cool. It was like, is the person that I typed that out for going to read it and know it was for them?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Gosh, I miss those days.
Or how about the individuals that would put things in a different language? You're like, oh, dude, I can't read that. I don't care about your dashboard.
You mean you couldn't Google it? No, you couldn't do Google Translate because there was no Google Translate. What you had to do was ask our buddy Jeeves.
Ooh, that went from Ask Jeeves to Ask. Anyway, okay. Anyway, so like, but what would drive me nuts as somebody that would like seek somebody out, and I would just be like slammed in the face by like your Thursday emo lyrics is like, dude, I just want to know if you wanted to watch like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Like, I didn't care about whatever edgy business you were trying to get into.
Man, you are hitting me square in the nether regions with this. I definitely at one time or another had an away message or a Facebook update with song lyrics. And I did hear you squeeze in Dashboard Confessional a second ago. So I will say for sure, for certain, at least on one occasion, my away message on AOL Instant Messenger was something to the effect of vindicated. I am selfish. I am wrong. I am right. I swear I'm right. I swear I knew it all along. I am flawed, but I am cleaning up so well. I am seeing in me now the things you swore you saw yourself. But I digress.
So I'm assuming that's Dashboard Confessional. Like, is that correct?
Vindicated. Yes.
Okay. Full disclosure, I don't really know any of that band. I had a roommate in college that loved Dashboard Confessional. And to me, it just kind of all sounded the same. Sorry, anybody I have offended. You're not going to hurt my feelings any more than the woman did at Sam's Club that insulted my shirt. So it's fine. But that's good to know. Now I know lyrics. That's great. I guess that could have been my takeaway 20 some years ago. Like, oh, now I know more lyrics. But this this sincerely has become like, I would easily say, within the last 10 years, 8 years, something like this is like a real epidemic, right? Like online specifically. Like now I have to admit, and I think I've mentioned this on previous episodes, and that is I don't have a ton of socials experience because I'm not really on anything besides LinkedIn. I know, hold your judgments, and Reddit. I was on Facebook when you had to have a college ID or an email in order to have it. And I used to jokingly refer to it as the Kool-Aid. Be like, I just drank my Kool-Aid for the day. But yeah, I've since for a long time now, I've been rid of Facebook. So my experience with other socials is pretty moot. So I'm going to rely on you for this one, Patrick. But like, is this pretty common throughout all other socials, or is LinkedIn just like this specific environment that just breeds this kind of post?
Well, I think that, I mean, again, this could be a 12-hour episode if we wanted to talk about what's wrong with social media. But I think with LinkedIn, where you have a little bit of that variety from the other socials, is that some of these posts that we're going to be alluding to, there's always going to be some sort of tie-in to work or to, some sort of characteristic or trait that you can relate back to in the workplace. So whether it's a struggle to, to get along with a coworker or to see the light at the end of the tunnel, maybe it is a job search. Maybe it's a revelation that you had over the weekend that taught you some random lesson about rainbows and butterflies. But it's usually, it comes off a little bit at times, a little self-serving. Like, look what I did. And I wonder if people are going to be able to relate to this. And some of the things we're going to be talking about, it just seems that like someone typed that and it didn't really happen.
Yes.
Or
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said, or if it did, it's such a reach and it's more of a, hey, I'm just trying. It's kind of like clickbait, essentially.
Yes.
But to get back to your initial question, this happens on all platforms. Okay. But I think on LinkedIn, it's funny because it's such a push for this like professional networking site. And whereas Facebook, it's just a whole cluster of attention grabbing things as well.
Sure,
and then your Instagram, you've got, the influencers, but like that's still, I enjoy Instagram if I'm on it for just like seeing people's pictures or videos. Yeah. Like it's, you can navigate it that way, memes and reels and all that stuff too. So that one I think is a little different than the others, but yeah, it's ugly out there. Kind of like
what's interesting that you say that about all these other socials, that they kind of fall into this trap, and kind of what I hear you saying about maybe why people feel this pull to do these things is like this whole personal branding kind of thing, right? Like on LinkedIn, it's like, this is my brand. I get up at 4 a.m. and run 16 miles. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like I would be willing to bet you probably don't. And if you do, you're such an exception to the rule that nobody even can relate to you. To kind of give like some context to that, I remember in high school, I was on like the newspaper group, whatever. I know, I was just an absolute stallion. You're not wrong. A friend of mine and we would write this monthly article called Reader's Beaters. And the whole concept was that we would pick people's cars that
what was it called?
Like Reader's Beaters.
Okay.
No, this is PG. I don't know where you're going with this. This is PG.
It rhymed. It was cute.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was our response, like our rebuttal to a rival article. I know this makes me sound like such a dork, and I am. A rival article called Car Wars. I can't make this up, where those individuals would find the people that had like really souped up cars, like they spent a lot of time tweaking them. I don't know anything about cars. Like I'm a moron. It's like they have 4 wheels and like they go vroom. Like that's my extent. When somebody asks me what car I have, I usually name the color. Like I don't know, right? And that's fine. I know my limitations. So my friend and I decided we were going to create this rival article called Reader's Beaters. And what we would do is we would find these just junk heap cars, which not really, they were totally fine vehicles. And we would just make fun of them, but like add values to them that weren't real. Like I still remember for the very first episode, it was my car. It was like a Toyota Corolla against a friend of mine who had this like beat to living daylights Sundance. And there was a line in there that said, if I want my car to go faster, I will skip breakfast. Like that's the kind of stuff that we were saying, like just stupid stuff. And what happened was our article, people really enjoyed it. Like people really liked it and were like clamoring, like, can you do my car next? Can you do my car next? And the Car Wars folks were getting mad because A, they knew we were making fun of them, and B, because they weren't getting as many people to read their article. And our teacher at the time is like, well, you have to understand that the people that are reading your article, your Car Wars article, it's going into like the specs of these vehicles. People that know cars already know those. And the people that don't know cars aren't reading it because they don't understand it. But what Steve and Dave, that was my co-writer, what they're doing, people can relate to it because it's as dumb as they are. Like they can understand it. And that, I think, is what resonates in my head when I'll see these posts pop up of like, this morning I did 7,000 push-ups and then I ate 16 dozen eggs. And it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Stop it. Like, and if there's the 1% of 1% that actually did do that, they don't relate to you anyway. Like, stop it. Just, I don't know. I know there's a wild tangent, but I think that's what kicks through my head whenever I see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely hear you there. And I've seen it. It's, it's a lot of Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox with just some very tall tales that have been told.
Oh, I was wondering where you're going with that. Like, huh? You mean the delicious buffet or family style restaurants in Wisconsin?
Yeah. Reminds me of pancakes, which also taught me a lesson.
That life can get sticky.
Yeah, and you can just flip it over and try again. And everything's better with syrup.
Wait a minute. I think we should just stop right now and become professional LinkedIn posters. And yeah, thank you for joining us. And do you have any kind of last words? No, I'm just kidding. We're not.
You know what we need to do is, because you and I seem like we're on the same page. We need to go to a car show together and be completely underwhelmed. Because we won't know what we were looking at. Like,
welcome to my life. Absolutely.
And nothing against car shows. The cars there that I know are there are amazing, and it's kind of a cool. I have a really good friend of mine who is huge into cars and does the car shows all the time, and what he's explaining happens there. It's like pretty awesome. People just want to kind of show off their stuff, and that you find like-minded people, and they're talking about the engine work they did and how they all the good stuff they do. But like you and I would be walking in there with like, is that one cool? Is that one cool?
I like the colors. That's neat. Wow.
I could drive that. Oh no, that one looks dangerous.
Take a look at this engine. I can't even like make up specs. Like I'm terrible. I don't know. Whatever. So you mentioned earlier, Patrick, that there were like, at least I thought you said something about like there were posts that you were going to bring up. Do you have any that we can chat about here? You wanna share these bad boys? Yeah, there's a couple, and I'm gonna start with this bad boy, which was found again on an external website, Board Panda.
Last Friday, on the night between Juneteenth and Father's Day, I watched the documentary 13th on Netflix, which impacted me profoundly, and after which I decided to head to bed since it was really late. When I got to our room, I saw our 4-year-old daughter had already climbed into our bed and was sleeping all cuddled up on my side. I lifted her up and carried her back to her bed, and just as I was about to lay her down, as her face was right in front of me, she said the following 3 words out loud during her sleep, so in her sleep, as clear as daylight. Change the world. I was stunned. I almost wanted to ask her, how? As if it was a conversation to which she held the answers, but she was fast asleep, of course. I went to bed with my head spinning that night, but one thing was clear. Change is overdue on so many levels, and I'm committed to being the change I seek.
Yeah. And then everyone clapped again, right? Come on. Like, you should hear the stuff that 4-year-olds say. Like, my wife worked with 4-year-olds for, I don't know, 12 years or something like that. The things that she would tell me that kids would say are not change the world. That's not what they say. Not even remotely. They usually say embarrassing things about their parents, or it's just some like mundane observation about the room, like dogs are brown. Like, you're correct. Yeah, sometimes they are. Like, that's cool. Like, it's just how unbelievable who's buying that? Who is buying that? I would like to know how this helps my professional network. Like, I I don't get it. It just really boggles my mind. Do you know what I mean? Like LinkedIn is supposed to be like the professionals network, not like look at me staring out the window with a teardrop in my eye. Like I don't know. Am I being too harsh? Like I don't know. I want to know your thoughts on this. You just got done telling me this, and I instantly just jumped down this wonderful person's throat. But I'm curious what your thoughts are.
I agree with you in that it doesn't seem like it belongs on a professional networking site because there isn't anything to add. Now, again, I don't know what all the hashtags said to connect it, the dots to all this, but
boy, yeah.
But the only hashtag you really need is little Bruno Mars, Jesus hashtag blessed. Great song, by the way.
I thought you were gonna say like hashtag loved or something. It's like, oh gosh, okay, yeah,
24 karat, woo. No, but yeah, they're tough to read at times because I don't find the connection of the relevancy of what the purpose of LinkedIn is supposed to be for. And
yeah, I agree. Sorry, I interrupted you. Yes,
no,
it's a stretch. I agree with you. Yes, like now I have no problem if you want to mention like, hey, I'm working remotely. I'm at this coffee shop. I want to give them a shout out by name because the workers there are amazing. Fine. Even I would consider that a bit of a stretch, but at least you're being professional about it. Okie dokie. But if you're using it as this platform of like, you can work from anywhere, that's this post. I often wonder to myself, like, the individuals that write these, do you actually read them? Like, do you legitimately read them and go, this is the way normal people speak, correct? Okay, good. It's like that Steve Buscemi meme where he's walking up, he's like, hello, fellow kids or teenagers. And it's like yeah, no, and so much no on top of it. Now, I am going to fully admit something here. And despite all of my ragging on these people, I think every single one of us, anybody that has ever been on social media to any degree, we are all guilty of kind of falling into that tar pit of you write something and whatever. Again, I am not innocent. Specifically, I'm going to call myself out in the year of 2022 because I was doing a lot of job searching. I was part of a big layoff and it caught me totally off guard. So I was trying to find ways to market myself. So once again, the whole branding market thing, I guess that is it. And I was I was living on LinkedIn, which I don't recommend to anybody. But it was, oh man, it was my job. LinkedIn was my job and I did not get paid for it at all. But I was trying to listen to all of these individuals that are giving their advice. I was, trying to research like what are ways to promote myself, to network, to get myself out there. And I was trying to follow things like, post once a day and say this and add. So I was doing that. I was hammering stuff like that. I have since gone and deleted a lot of that because I'm like, I don't even want that associated. It's just brutal. So I do want to. So before everybody goes like scouring my LinkedIn, be like, you said this once. Okay, fine. I admit it. Like there's probably stuff on there that's super cringy. And not that it makes it okay that I did that, but I'm at least able to own the mistake and be like, okay, I've learned since then. Now most of my LinkedIn posts are about this podcast. Like, so I'm just marketing in a different way.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't go through some of these super cringe posts.
Oh, yes, you said that. Yes, please do. Please do.
So again, these are nothing that I found myself, but as again, we'll have these in the show notes, but this was dedicated to the best of LinkedIn, cringeworthy LinkedIn posts. So this one was
I'm excited.
Yesterday, my 14-year-old spent an hour researching credit scores. then convinced me to open her a savings account and add her as an authorized user to my credit card so she can start building banking and credit history and good financial habits. She said, give me an allowance limit so I can get into the habit of using it and making regular payments. Then she coached her best friend on how to convince her parents to do the same. Financial literacy starts young. It was a very proud mommy moment for me.
None of that happened. Like, no way. There's no 14-year-old. Once again, maybe there's like that 1% of 1% of 1% that has that 14-year-old that's like, no, actually, that does happen. No way. They're always like, oh, I just want to play Fortnite or whatever. I'm an idiot. I don't know what 14-year-olds do or want, but they're not talking to their parents about financial literacy. Give me a break.
Yeah, incredible. There, I got another one. So,
okay, yeah.
This is more of it's not the post itself. The post itself is great. Oh. It's the comment from an individual. And I only want to point this out because you have, like, what you write down, what you type out says not only a lot about you, but it's going to stay for other people to read. Oh, it's not like on LinkedIn. It's not like, again, Steve, because you're maybe a little unfamiliar with other socials. Like, I post something on someone else's page, people, if their page is private, my page is private, like, the only people that are going to be able to read that comments are friends, like on Facebook, are friends of that person that I posted to.
Oh, okay.
We're like linked for the most part. That's how it works, right? There's some stuff that's like with more public and stuff, but for the most part. But on LinkedIn, you're constantly seeing things that people like or comment on from people that are not only your first associate or whatever it's called, like the second connection, third connection. It goes pretty deep. So I just stress that because you have to, like, this example is just like totally jaw dropping. So there's a picture of a lady. The post is from a gentleman. He says, when your girlfriend carries you to the top of a mountain. And so there's a woman is carrying her partner. Okay. And he is a bilateral amputee. So both missing both limbs. And so she's carried him to the top of a mountain, which is, so it's like a really awesome picture. Like this post, so like
quite literally she carried him.
Literally, like the picture of her carrying him. Yeah.
Oh, so okay. I thought it was like metaphorical.
No, like real. Right. So when your girlfriend carries you to the top of a mountain and there's a picture of her holding him at the top, it's like super motivational post, right?
Yeah.
So that's the cool part. And then again, that could be a Facebook post, but I'm sure it was able to be tied into LinkedIn somehow, which is cool. But then you have someone commenting, when your girlfriend gets eaten by a bear at the top of the mountain because you are unable to defend her. Sorry. I know people won't like it, but it's a true observation. Very moving. Oh, then he starts to circle back. Very moving that such a beautiful girl has such a beautiful heart that she will overlook this man's evolutionary disadvantages. Cringe. Just hope they never get into a situation where he would need to defend her. So someone else commented, I hope a bear eats Nicholas, who's this guy that commented.
Oh, wow.
Like, what gave you the gall and the confidence to be like, I'm going to knock on this very impressive and like heartfelt story.
Okay, so I do agree that it is very heartfelt and it's empowering, and not to diminish what this woman did, because that's pretty awesome. But once again, what does it have to do with professional networking, right? Like, isn't that the whole point of LinkedIn? Hell, we abuse it. I'm posting about this podcast all the time. I mean, I guess it's professional, right? Like it's a professional endeavor. So I guess maybe we don't exactly breach that one too hard. But still, what a terrible thing to say. Wow. That's unspeakable. Wow. All right. I mean, didn't they learn in kindergarten? Like, sometimes you just keep your thoughts to yourself. And for whatever reason, as adults, people are like, you know what? I'm not only not going to keep this to myself, I'm going to post this online. And the cool thing about the internet is it forgets really easily. Just kidding, it doesn't.
I was gonna say, have you been on Twitter back in 2012 and everything dug up from there?
Wow. Oh, that's wild. Do you have one more? You said there's like a bunch of them on this site.
Yeah, there's the article. It lists 40, but I got one. Okay. I've got one more. Yeah, I can have time to read all of them. This one's just like very self-absorbed. After 8 consecutive months of being on the road full time, culminating in the Flip the Script tour, I went to Trader Joe's on Sunday for my first round of groceries in almost a year, which included chicken. Last night, I cooked said chicken, ate it, and watched a movie on Lifetime. Normal life is so boring. I don't know how you people do it.
Oh, God. Wow. Hashtag blessed. Wow. Not only, I swear that has to be like rage baiting, right? Like they just want people to be like, oh, sorry, we're not as good as you? Question mark. Like,
I don't know.
What would I don't know. That's wild. You know, on the complete opposite. Oh, no, I guess it's pretty similar. So I talked about my woes of 2022 utilizing LinkedIn as my therapist and trying to put myself out there for a position. And there was I will not name a name, but chances are, just based off the description, some of you out there might be like, I know exactly who you're talking about. Her posts originally were very empowering. Like she originally talked about, it was something along the lines of like, how do you try to better yourself for new roles? Yeah, that's a professional thing. Totally cool. I can get behind that. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, I'm trying to better myself for a future role. So yeah, tell me more, lady. And I don't know if it just was like she gained traction. So she started getting more and more people to follow her and look at her posts. I genuinely don't know where the switch happened, but every post, and there was like 5 a day, it felt like, that consisted of her in a field holding like a sunflower, just like kind of over her face. So like really all you could see was her eyes. And then it was like, I walked away from a toxic relationship, and that's great. I more power to you. That's wonderful. But I don't know what that's to do with LinkedIn. And if you don't work remote, are you even working? Like stuff like that. Or my personal favorite, and I swear, she would trash her former employer, like vehemently, just like trash them. And like, I'm so glad I don't work there anymore and whatnot. And then shockingly, it wasn't much later after she was doing that, her job changed. What?
Whoa.
I'm like, why? Why did you feel compelled to do that? That's so crazy to me. I don't know.
That is fantastic. And just
so bizarre. I don't know. I guess in my head, if I'm going to try to kind of put a bow on this as best as I can, I mentioned early on that kind of serendipitously that we're talking about this specific topic on LinkedIn and social media and cringe and whatnot. Like 2-3 days ago, I think it was on a Reddit feed or something like that. And I was reading this article called The Last Days of Social Media. I am not going to go into it because number one, it's like way smarter than I am. I'll see if I can't find the link to it. I'll put it in the show notes. But what if I can try to surmise what this guy was saying, because I felt like every third word, I'm like, oh gosh, I don't really know if I understand this. But he kind of talked about this whole thing of like how social media was started as a means of connection. and as a way for each one of us to exchange ideas and like, here's a cute picture of my dog, or like keeping up with relatives that are out of state. Like it had this wholesome togetherness feel. And that's since been inverted onto itself with the rise of bots and AI. And it's kind of changed the script of what social media was meant to be. And it turned it into this rat race of like, my brand needs to outcompete AI and chatbots and algorithms. And it was genuinely a really fascinating read. And he actually gets into the technicals of like how viewership and clicks and how posting has actually dropped significantly on social media sites because a lot of these influencers or, you know, very active individuals are finding it difficult, if not impossible, to keep up with AI generation and content bots. A really fascinating read. Genuinely, really fascinating. I highly recommend it if you have about 4 hours to read the article, because it's like a New Yorker article on steroids, but it was really, really eye-opening. It was great.
Well, and that's, you made a good point too with just the evolution of social media. So think about now with smartphones, and so everything, you know, is got the world in our hands essentially. But and people are posting less, but they're scrolling more. So you think about desktop versions, all right, of Facebook, of Instagram, are frustrating to be on because they want them to be more phone friendly. They want you to be on your phone and using that, and you scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and then you take a moment to type in and have a conversation with some person across the country that you never met and never will, but you have to put your 2 cents in, and then they're going to put their 2 cents in, and it's back and forth, and now you're all anxious, and so you go open up another app and do the whole scrolling thing again. And our attention spans are so it's reels, it's quick little memes, because that's all of our attentions. That's all we can handle as far as our attention span goes. And so it's definitely a shift. Is it getting better? No. Could it get better? Possibly. You have different apps and different things that people are trending towards now. Yeah. Less people are using Facebook than, at least percentage wise. I'm sure there's still millions of people that use it, but it used to be a lot more popular, we'll say, and different generations. Now you've got your TikToks and all that, but it's just incredible that, where things are at. You think when LinkedIn got started, what that looked like compared to what it looks like now. I'm sure it's a lot.
Completely different creatures. All right. And let me know what you think of this. I'm trying to like wrap this up in my head. And it kind of ties in with what we talked about last week. And that is, I guess we talked about the adulting aspect too. No, what we talked about today didn't have anything really to do with like learning and development or training or anything like that. But we told you that it wasn't always going to be that. I think if you're authentic and you're genuine about what you post, then that's the best way to combat being cringy, right? Like, because if you're really putting yourself out there, like that woman that you said on the post that she literally carried was her boyfriend or fiance?
It must have been a partner or something. Yeah, it didn't.
Sure. Whatever the relationship was. Yeah. That, like, she carried him up to this top of the mountain. Like, what a wonderful thing. And whether she was doing it for clout or whatever, I don't care. I look at it as, was she being authentic when she posted that? Just like some of these people that are like, I posted, I'm working remote in a coffee shop. You should worship me. I don't know, whatever. That's not what they're asking for. But like, what a cringy thing, because you're not being authentic. You're not being genuine. Like, come on, just stop. And I'm going to throw myself under the bus here, because I've actually been called out by friends before for the quote unquote toxic positivity on LinkedIn. And anytime I ever post somebody or like I respond to somebody's message and I'm like, keep being awesome or like keep being wonderful, that is something that I would say to their face. Like, that's not something I'm making up. I genuinely mean that. I will call people out if I think they're doing something wonderful. If I don't think they're doing something wonderful, I just won't respond. Case in point, I have a cousin of mine that anytime she posts something on LinkedIn, I always am like giving her the thumbs up or the celebrate emoji. And there's more than once that I have referred to her as a superhero because she is a forensic nurse that went and got her law degree to further help victims of human trafficking. So quite frankly, I don't know if you can be more badass and if you can be more of a superhero than that. So anytime she posts something, I'm always like, you're amazing. Keep being amazing. That's great. But I also genuinely mean it. I am authentic about what I am saying to her. And I tell her to her face, like, you're amazing. And I don't want to embarrass her. So I'm not going to say her name, but I think that's a really incredible thing. So I will always call out those things if I find them authentic and genuine and personable. But if you're sending just garbage posts, I am snickering behind your back. Like, come on, people. Like, we're better than that. We're better than that. All right, I'm done. I'm going to get off my soapbox right now before I break an ankle stepping down.
That's a perfect transition into our sponsor this week.
Oh, yay, sponsor! All right, who is it?
Nightclubs.
Ooh, all right. That was a big get for you. Nice job.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, those mysterious buildings where $3 worth of lights and $9 worth of base get sold back to you for $18 a drink. Nightclubs, the only place where shouting directly into someone's ear is considered flirting, and waiting in line outside in freezing weather is somehow a good idea. They're loud, they're sweaty, and let's be honest, you'll definitely lose your friends at least once before the DJ drops the same song you already heard on the radio 14 times today. But hey, what else can you wear? Where else can you wear sunglasses indoors at midnight, pay $40 for bottled water, and dance like no one's watching, even though everyone is watching? Nightclubs, keeping chiropractors in business since the invention of the strobe light. Now, back to the podcast, which, unlike a nightclub, doesn't have a cover charge and won't judge your dance moves.
Wow. We will definitely judge your dance moves, but not before you judge our faces. So that is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Big Nightclub. Really appreciate that. Maybe throw in some bottle service for us. And by that, I mean like 2 bottles of Dasani or whatever you get out of the tap. That would be wonderful. That is rad. Thank you so much. Do we have ourselves a dedication this fine week?
We do. Time to pull up the wheel of opportunity.
I love it. This is great.
All right. I am going to click to spin. We're going to land on the woman who was there that special night at Boomer's Sports Bar all those years ago. I want to thank again Lily for being our dedication.
Lily was amazing. She was amazing.
She was.
All right. You let us know when you spin that bad boy.
All right. Hit it.
Nice. All right.
Going around.
All right.
Click, 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 click. It's on Eden.
Oh, Eden. Thank you. Thank you, Eden, for giving us everything that you've given us. You are a treat and you are a delight. We appreciate you so very much for making Patrick and I the ugliest people possible. You are a true wonder.
And while I don't exactly remember what you look like, you had some sick dance moves. Speaking of nightclubs.
Well, I also hope you've been keeping up with those arm curls because you were pretty strong back then. I'll tell you that. Wow. All right. Well, I think that's a great point for us to conclude here. on Grossly Competent. If you like what you hear and you are just thinking to yourself, wow, like listening to this episode of this podcast made me just realize how much stronger and faster and better looking I am than Patrick and Steve. And I would just really love to support them in their mask habit. Well, let me tell you what, you are in luck. You can always visit us on Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/grosslycompetent, or you can also visit us on the wonderful world of Buzzsprout. That's where we host this podcast. And toss a coin to your witchers. That would be us. We look like witches. Also, I am currently, speaking of social media and whatnot, I am currently in the process of possibly breaking into those in the hopes of getting Grossly Competent more out there. We happen to see some fine folks out of the Des Moines area. We also saw some Austin, Texas. There was some Oregon in there. I can't stress it enough. There was legitimately somebody that clicked on us on accident from Japan, and I'm never going to hold them, never going to take that off the hook. There was some Illinois in there, like lots of great people. Please, please, please tell your friends and family if you enjoy this. We certainly appreciate it. If there is a topic that you'd love to listen to Patrick and I just banter on and just beat like a dead horse, well, my God, you need to let us know. I will make sure I pop in that information into the show notes so you have ready access to it. Mr. Aylshire, is there anything else that you would like to add before we sign ourselves off?
You know, Steve, you're doing a great job with going through our end of the show recap. I appreciate that. I was a little hesitant to partner with you because, as we talked about last week, I did not know that you could read. So the memorization is on point.
It's a skill. Well, it's a skill to fake it.
Yeah, no, I want to say Grossly Competent is where my heart is at. If you are, and when you have finished through the Grossly Competent catalog, and you want to go back and listen to some other interviews that I have done with others, there is a little podcast called It's Later Than You Think.
Who hosts that?
Oh, that's yours truly. And with that podcast, we talk about how life is moving so fast, how it's important for us to live in the moment, enjoy the ride, and make the most out of our limited days. While I don't currently have new updates or new episodes coming out all the time, I have a back catalog of 35 episodes, and there was even an episode with Stephen Cornelius.
There sure was.
I don't remember if you do you remember that episode, if you recall, but
I do. I most certainly do. It was the day my world changed. All right, we won't keep you on the ringer here for any longer. One thing I did forget to mention, if you are enjoying this podcast, or hell, if you jump into It's Later Than You Think and you enjoy that as well, please, 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 we would just be tickled pink if you'd give us a like, a thumbs up. If there is an ability to review and add stars to it, we'd love that. You can say whatever you want. Genuinely, you're not going to hurt our feelings. Just don't try to hurt our feelings. It's okay. We also love it if you would share this with friends and family. The more the merrier, except when it comes to mirrors in my house. That's actually lesser is better. All right. With that, folks, thank you so much. Really appreciate you, fellow Uggos. And we will see you next time. Ugly out.
Ooh, that was good. Sounded like Dashboard. Peace.